Well, I hope you enjoyed not having a day 2 notes and got a little bit of a break. Let's look at notes day 3. Today we're going to solve systems. We're actually solving equations, and the first way we're going to do this is by graphing. And we're going to look at our graphs, and we may even be able to use our tables on this as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Beach umbrellas. Surfside Rentals rents umbrellas for $4 an hour plus a deposit of $8 an hour. Beach bums rent umbrellas for a flat fee of $6 an hour with no deposit. After how many hours will the deals cost the same amount? So it does appear that they hold on just a moment. Let me get this going the way we need it. So that I can use my pen. All right. Apparently they have different schemes for charging, and we need to figure out when they're going to be the same. So this first one, the process, if we look, Surfside Rentals charges $4 an hour plus a deposit. So we're going to have our deposit here plus 4 times the number of hours. So 8 plus 4 times 0 is $8, and you've all done this before. So I want you to go ahead and fill this out, and I'm going to do the same. And I know I'm probably going a little quick for you, but you can always stop the video and take care of this on your own. 8 plus 4 times 4, and that would give us 20 and 24. All right, on the second one, it's a flat fee of $6 an hour, no deposit. So this would be 6 times the number of hours, and 6 times 0 is 6. And then we'll just go ahead and fill out this table. Oh, I got these all one off, didn't I? So hopefully you weren't copying me exactly. That would be 0, 6, 12, 18, and 24. So we can already see that at 4 hours costs $24 for Surfside, and 4 hours costs $24 for Beach Bum. So we already answered our question. That's with the table. But let's go on and look, because we're going to also learn how to do this with a graph. So write an equation for Surfside Rentals. If you remember, when you're writing an equation, we could do the cost equals 8 plus 4 times the number of hours, and that we get that equation part right here. And so we have the cost, C, and hours. So the equation for Beach Bums would be the cost equals 6 times the number of hours. And this should all be reviewed for you. All right, so we're going to graph them below. So what we'll need to do is we're going to do these in different colors, but let's go ahead and label this. Our independent variable is hours. Our dependent variable is cost. And we can start at 0 here and then just label these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. Now, let's look. We need to be able to get to at least $24, but let's go by twos here. I think we should be able to do this. Let's count the number of lines available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we can do it. So let's go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, I don't know why my lines don't want to show up, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. So hopefully you've got that done. So let's do Surfside Rentals first. So we're going to start at 8. That's your fee to start with. And then each hour we're going up by 4. Now, what I want you to do is, now that we're solving systems, it is extremely important that you use a straight edge and you make your lines very, very accurate. Now, just sort of a question here. Why did I not put an arrow on the left side of the shape there? Why didn't an arrow? Okay, hopefully you answered because you can't go lower than $8 or have less than 0 hours. All right, so now let's go ahead and fill in for beach bums. And for them, whoops, at 0 hours it's 0. 1 hour it's 6. 2 hours it's 12. 3 hours it's 18. 4 hours it's 24. 30. And let's see, we can go up another one. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our line in there. We're going to start here. Alright, and hopefully you can see why it's very important to have two straight lines. The point at which our two lines cross, and let me just go ahead, I'm going to do that in green. That's this point right here. That point, which is 4:24, that's that point. So that's where they cost the same. Now, let's go back to our questions here. When is Surfside Rentals the better deal? Well, Surfside is a better deal. That's the red line after 4 hours. So you see this, it's after 4 hours. Because before 4 hours, this line's always above. It's always costing more. At 4 hours, it's exactly the same. But after 4 hours, it's going to cost the same. So this would be after 4 hours. So, how many hours did you rent from Beach Bums if the cost is $66? So remember, we had the equation C equals 6 times the number of hours, and this tells us the cost is 66. So we simply plug that in. 66 equals 6 times the number of hours, divide by 6, and we end up with 11 on the left side equals hours. So it would be 11 hours. So how much will you spend at Surfside to rent for 17 hours? 17 hours. So that would be the cost equals 8 plus 4, and then in place of the hours we're going to put 17. Okay. So now all we have to do is, and I would just say please use your calculator, what is 8 plus 4 times 17, and that comes out to $76. Of course, what you also can do, and another good way to do this, would be to pull up your calculator, and let's go ahead and find that TI. There we go. We could plug into our calculator. For example, bring this out, we'll put in here. If we go to our y equals, and we have the 8 plus 4 times x, so we can look at our table, and hours is the x, so I could go down and I could find 17 on the hours, and you see here it's 76. All right. I could also put in here the second one, 6x, that's for beach bums, and we can compare on our table. So we see for 11 hours, it's $52 for Surfside and $66 for beach bums. Let's go up, and we should see at the 4-hour mark, yes, 4 hours, it's 24 for both of them. So this could be a very handy tool. All right, after how many hours will the deal cost the same? We're back to number 8. Well, we've already answered that one. We can see it on our graph. It's 4:24, so we can say 4 hours. All right. Well, apparently we're having some technical difficulty. I will come back and get that for you. Well, hold on just one moment. I'll see if I can pull up that second part. Day 3 notes. All right. Well, I will get back to you in just a moment. All right, the technical difficulty has been taken care of. All right, what I want you to do on number 9 is I want you to go ahead and, like we have done before, I'm going to use a different color. I want you to go ahead and write out a table, x and y values, and start with -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And we're going to bring up our calculator. Let's see. All right. We're going to have to do a new one. No. And plug in the values for y equals x. I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to put y equals x on the first one, and then 3x minus 4. And then I'm going to look at my table. So I can see on my first equation it's going to be -2, -2, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. So that'll be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Now for my second equation over here, I'm going to do a different color. And then I'm also going to do -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then let's look at our calculator. All right. And we can see we have -2, -10. I have to look all the way on the left for my x value, all the way on my right. So -10, -7, -4, -1. So I'm going to come over here. It's -10, -7, -4, -1, and then this will be 2. And then I will plot my points on the graph. So I have -2, -2, -2, -2, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 2. Now what I need to do, and like I said, very, very important that you use a good straight edge and you make your lines go all the way across. Oh, I don't want clip art. We'll do shapes. Close that clip art thing there. Alright. Go all the way across. Now some of these may require quite a bit of length to find out where exactly they're going to cross. So you're going to need to do that all the way across, and then I'm going to and remember, when your teacher is grading your paper, we need to see that you have actually put in these points. You have to have 3 elements. You have to have number 1, your table. You have to have number 2, the points clearly visible. And number 3, your line has to go all the way across. The graph itself has to go all the way across. So now I'm going to add in my second equation, and that's going to be -2, -10. So I'm going to go down here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, -1, 7, 0, -4, 1, -1, and 2, 2. And we're going to go ahead and put in our line, our graph. Just like that. Alright, so I'm going to ask you to do number 10, and I'm going to scroll down, and let's look at number 11. Now number 11, we can find the first equation in the calculator. The second equation, we must solve for y first. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go down to the bottom. So it's 3x minus 2y equals -12. 3x minus 2y equals -12. So I'm going to do this one in blue. 3x minus 2y equals -12. So the first thing we need to do to isolate the y is move the variable with the x. Now we don't have a variable with an x over here, so we're going to do minus 3x, just like that. We cancel these out. Remember, bring down that negative sign. -2y equals -12 minus 3x. Now we need to divide by the coefficient of y. So if we divide anything, we divide everything. So -2, -2, and -2. And we end up with y equals, now -12 divided by -2 is +6. A negative divided by negative is going to give me a positive, so I'm going to write my plus. 3 over 2 does not reduce, that should be plus 3 over 2x. Now, since we're right here, I want to show you that when we plot this, I'm going to go back and show you, well, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do my table of values. So I have -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Now I know that when x is 0, y is going to be 6. because that's how our equations work. So I can fill that in. But what I want to do is I want to go back to my calculator. To stop it. See if we can restart it. And it's not going to let us restart. So let's open up a new one. And many of you continue to ask, how do I put a fraction in the calculator? So I'm going to do this one for you. I'm going to go to my y equals, and then I'm going to have 6 plus, and then I'm going to put in parentheses 3 divided by 2 x. That's how I would do that one. So now I can look at my table, and I find that negative 2 is 3, and negative 2 is 3. Now, negative 1 is 4.5. That's going to be a little difficult to plot. 6, 1 would be 7.5. That will be difficult to plot, but 2 and 9 will be able to plot. Now, if we look at these, that should be negative 2 right there. Make sure it says negative 2. So, negative 2, 3. I'm going to go to 0, 6, just for accuracy's sake, and then to 2, 9, 2, and there's that 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm going to draw my line. And once again, it is extremely important that you draw your line directly through those points all the way across, just like that. I'm sure you can hear the dog in the background. He's having fun on the rolling around on the new carpet. All right, now we can go back to our other equation here, and we'll do this one in red. X and Y. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Now we know that when x is 0, y will be negative 1. So I can already put that in. Alright, so if I have 0, negative 1, and I look at my slope, it's a negative 2x. That is the same as negative 2 over 1. So I could go down 2, 1, 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, or I could go up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1. And you see how I plotted this without even having to fill in the table, but I do want you to fill in the table. So that would be negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Oh, negative, that would be positive 1. Would be positive 3, I'm sorry. That would be 1, negative 3, and 2, negative 5. It should be positive 1. There we go. Make it fit your graph. We see that the point where they cross right here is negative 2, 3. So negative 2, 3 is our answer. I don't think we did that on the first one. I'll go back and show you. We still do need to put in our graph. And I need to make sure it goes right through the corner of those boxes. Just like that. Yes, all the way to the end. And again, my point where I have a solution is right here, and that is -2, 3. Let's go back up to the one before. The point where they cross on this one, where the point they have in common, is 2, 2, 2, 2, and I'm going to put that here, 2, 2. Now it's your turn. Make sure you do number 10 and number 12. Of course, you're going to have to solve for y here. Remember, when you put the 5/4 in your calculator, it will look like this. 5 divided by 4 x minus 1. That would probably be your y1 equals. You solve for x on number 12. Make sure you plot your points. Draw your graph. We need to be able to see your points on there. We need to see your table of values like this right here. And we want you to label where the two graphs cross and put that point right here. If you have any questions or problems, be sure to ask your teacher about this when you get in.